I was on the street in Exeter, say, for about 4 years. But the last 2 of them, the people that actually eventually did get me this flat were giving me loads of hassle about saying, John, we've got you a flat. All you have to do is come in and say yes. But because I was a bit stubborn, I didn't, and I kept living in a tent. And then eventually, I woke up one morning, I thought, like, screw this. Like, I can't be doing this. I'm getting too old. I think I turned 50, and I'm thinking, I'm still in a tent, and I'm 50 years old. What? Right, sort your life out, mate. You know what I mean? So I did, like, and it was as simple as that. But it's the only person that can do that is you, anyway. Yeah, it's just you, isn't it? I was amazed when I got this place. Leanne was here, like, right? You saw me. I was absolutely buzzed out my butt, but I had a balcony. You know what I mean? Like, so I had outside, and I was in the flat. It was perfect, absolutely perfect. I couldn't ask for more. I couldn't ask for more, mate. And they've helped me throughout the time I've been here with bills, which is a major. Like, paying bills is the hardest thing about living in a flat, right? Because you've got responsibilities. When you're on the street, you haven't got none of that. And a lot of people choose to live like that because of that. If they're honestly honest, that's the bottom line. A lot of them, like, you know what I mean? Like, because you have no responsibilities. The only responsibility you have is, well, you.
Tell us a little bit about how you found living here and what's the big differences for you.
As I just said, it's a responsibility, haven't it? You have responsibilities, which is kind of a bit of a shock. Like, it's sort of like kicks you in the balls a little bit, like when you realise that you've actually got to pay to live in this flat. Like. And then your alternative is to, like, well, not pay and end up back on the street. Now, no disrespect, but I don't think I could do that now. I might have been able to do it 10, 20 years ago. I probably would have, actually, to be fair, I would have done. You know, I would have milked this flat for what I could get out of it and then just gone. Started again somewhere else, like. But I can't do that because I want to stay here. Because I had a balcony and it was outside, but inside, I had a bed out there and everything. So I slept out there for a good couple of months, like, because the culture shock, and it was culture shock, of going back into a house which is all yours. And you've got running water. You've got the toilet. You've got hot water that comes out of a tap. You haven't got to go and carry water, which is very, very, very heavy. It's not expensive, but it's heavy, and that's you'd be surprised how much water you need. Yeah, so little things like that, really little things, like of just having carpet and, I don't know, windows and warmth and just telly. Even here, like, when I got here, oh God, it was lonely as hell, mate. It was hell. The amount of times I said to Leanne, like, I want to go back on the street, mate. Right? I felt more comfortable living then, but that all went, and then it's changed now. And the thought of me going back on the flat now scares the living out of me, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a scary thought.
You mentioned it earlier, but how long have you been here?
And just over about 18 months. Yeah. Straight bare walls remind me of being in jail. Which I have done, which most street owners, people that have done once or twice or more times, they've been to jail. What am I looking at now?
Your plants.
Oh, my plant. Oh, and my plants. I mean, I love, because I lived when I was in the tent. I lived like it was greenery, and so I brought that back in with me. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I've got greenery everywhere. My balcony is. I've got a lovely little chair out there, and it's covered in green, and it chills me out, like, really good. Yeah. You know? Yeah, so it's good. It's good. But yeah, I love my flat. I'm sorry, but I really do. Yeah, I do though, and I've got a little puppy, which is, she's a nightmare, but like, she's my little nightmare. You know what I mean? Like, and now because of her, I ain't half as lonely as I was, because I've got a little puppy. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So like, she takes it all. You know, poor little thing. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people seeing this will feel like quite inspired that sometimes they see people out on the streets and think it can be, you know, things can move on.
Yeah, it can be, but at the end of the day, it all boils down to that individual choice, and that's everybody, and everybody's got to make that choice. You've got to want to do it. There's no point, and you've got to want 100%, right? And if you don't do it like that, then it ain't going to work, right? You ain't going to do it. But that's the choice you got to make. You know, you've got to want to do it. You know, and I think with that, and when it all comes down, that comes down to age. Simple as. The older you get, and you're still living on the street, it sort of changes something. Well, it changed something in my head. So I thought, screw this, mate. I can't do this no more, mate. I want to have some comfort, and that's what I got. I got comfort, and I got colour. And greenery, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So yeah, I know. As I said, I love my flat.
So you've obviously got quite a story to tell. What's some of the lessons in life that you've learned then?
I have no idea. Sorry, I don't.
Question, isn't it?
It is a little bit difficult, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Life lessons. It all comes down to what's going buzzing in my head now. It all comes down to you've got to want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you can be told, and that might bring you up to like 60-70% of wanting to do it. But the last 30 or 40% has got to be you, and it has to be you. And if it isn't, then it isn't going to be you. You're not going to do it. It's the same as giving up gear, wanting to give up gear, and whatnot. You've got to want to do it, and that's. I don't know, that's the only advice I can give. I changed with age. I turned 50 and I was still in the tent, and I thought, no way, I can't, no. And I've been housed for the last nearly 18 months, look. You know? So good, yeah? And I've got no intention of going back on the street again. Like none. You know? Right?